Hey everyone! Welcome back to the series where I'm building a browser game using only Notepad. In this video, we're going to break down Day 6's code step by step, so you'll see exactly how player movement, enemies, and collisions work. Let's dive in and explore how this simple game comes to life. We grab the canvas element from the HTML so we can draw on it. CTX is the context. It's like our paintbrush for drawing shapes, colors, and lines. Tile size is how big each block of the grid is. COLS and rows calculate how many columns and rows fit on the canvas. This makes our game grid scalable if we change the canvas size. The player object stores the player's position X, Y, size, color, and status alive. We start the player in the center of the grid. Similar to the player, this is our first enemy. Its starting position is at the top left corner. It also has a live to check if it should be drawn. We create a keys object to track which keys are pressed. When a key is pressed down, it becomes true. When released, it goes back to false. This allows smooth player movement using WASD. Moves the player based on which keys are pressed. We also make sure the player doesn't go outside the grid. If the player is dead, movement stops. Enemy timer controls how fast the enemy moves. Enemy delay makes the enemy move one step every few frames, instead of instantly. The enemy moves towards the player by comparing X and Y positions. If the enemy reaches the same cell as the player dies. Function drawGrid draws the grid lines on the canvas. Vertical lines go from top to bottom. Horizontal lines go from left to right. Help see the game as tiles, makes movement and collisions clear. Function drawBlock draws a square for any object player or enemy. Checks if the object is alive before drawing. Uses object's color and position to place it correctly on the grid. Function drawTitle draws a small title on top of the canvas. Helps viewers know which day of the tutorial they are watching. If the player dies, function drawGameOver shows a big red Game Over message. Makes the collision visually clear for the viewer. Game loop runs every frame using requestAnimationFrame. Clears the canvas, updates player and enemy positions, draws grid, blocks, title, and game over. This creates the animation of movement and collisions. In total, player can move around the grid. Enemy moves toward the player, one step at a time. Collision ends the game. Grid and title make it visually clear.